Hello everybody. What's up, gang? Can you all hear me, see me clearly? Give me a quick thumbs up if you can see me, hear me clearly, folks. What's up? Good evening, good evening. So I know that you've had a long day, but let me remind you that CAT is now not 12 months, but just 9 months away. So these 270 days, 70 odd days that you have in your hand is all that you have to make sure that your CAT prep goes in the right direction. And what better way to, guide you in the right way by, without having a proper planner, right? So if you have the right kind of a planner and if you obviously have the right, dedication to follow it without, skipping a beat, then that is all that you will require to master CAT. So if you guys can hear me, what's up? All right. So what I have done is to understand how you're going to spend these, 9 months in your hand. How are you going to effectively make sure that you have the best guidance or the best way in which you can track your own progress? We'll be doing two things today. One, we'll be looking at an overview of how you're supposed to spend these 9 months, right? So let's begin understanding what I have done. So I have split these 9 months. Hi Aishwarya, hi Rajori. So what I've done is I've split these 9 months into 1, 2 and 3 parts, right? So your first 3-month period, your second 3-month period and your third 3-month period will have different focuses throughout. Yes. So let's talk about them month by month, understand what each of these parts represent and how we are going to make sure that we get the best out of this planner. Yes. Cool, folks. Shall we begin? All right. So to begin with, March, April and May. Yes, these 90 odd days, how we are going to spend them. The importance will be more on the concepts, a little less on the practice and very little on the mocks. Yes, so the idea here is very, very simple. Because you're new to CAT, because you're new to most concepts of logical reasoning and data interpretation, you'll be spending more time learning the concepts. Yes, understanding what each concept means and understanding how you can apply them, right? So with concepts being at maximum during these 3 months, your aim is going to be to make sure that you cover majority of the syllabus in these 3 months. Yes, these 3 months, majority of the concepts must be covered. Yeah, be it from logical reasoning or from data interpretation, you have to make sure that you cover majority of it there. And parallelly, start practicing for your concepts as well. So you can use the DPPs, you can use your books, you can use any other sources that you have for practice, and make sure that you have a parallel practice here. Hi Yashika. DI is hard for you, Aishwarya. Okay, we'll answer that in a while. I have a proper plan for you. Okay, so you got up with the concepts, you keep practicing, but what about mocks? You normally hear people saying that don't start giving mocks until you're done with the syllabus. But the problem with CAT is there is no fixed syllabus. Yes, there is no predetermined topics that you must do or the ones that you must skip, right? Because CAT is an open-ended test. Yeah, there is no particular syllabus or there is no list of topics given by the IIMs themselves. So that basically means your learning never stops. Then finding the right spot for you to start giving mocks become a trouble there, right? Because you keep looking at, you keep learning concepts, you keep practicing, you might be able to do a few questions, you might be able to crack a few sets, but then you will still not realize whether you are holding your water or not, whether you are able to maintain that same accuracy, maintain that same grit in the during the test. So to keep yourselves acquainted, yes, Yashika, we just started, join in. So to keep, hi Jaydeep, hola amigo. So to make yourselves understand that CAT is not just a concept based test but also a strategy based test, and also every time to keep yourselves understanding how well you're performing, you need to keep giving mocks. So the planner that I have designed, I have made sure that in each of these months, you will be giving one mock at least. Yes, you will be giving one mock in each of these months. Yes. Clear? Cool. One mock will make sure that in these 3 months you have 3 mocks covered. That way you can analyze what you're really good at, what you lack, what should be the tweaks in the strategy or in the approach that you take with the test. Yes. And these I would recommend you to start taking a full length mock test itself. And again, it's your choice. If you feel like, no, I don't want to start off with VRC right now, or I don't want to start off with quant right now, I only want to focus on DALR on that particular day, then maybe you can give a 40-minute sectional test. But my recommendation, go full length. That way you will also be able to understand your stamina. Are you able to stay consistent on the paper for 2 long hours? Okay, cool. Next set of months, that is your June, July and August. Yeah. Hi Neeru. June, July and August. Again, if you look, number of concepts would have been covered a lot, right? On those 3 months, the initial 3 months, you would have covered a lot of your concepts. That means now you will have quite less to cover in terms of concepts. But because you've learned a few things 3 months ago, you might want to still keep them in check. So you will increase practice. Here, the practice would be at the majority possible, at the maximum possible point, right? And you will still continue giving mocks though. You will still continue giving mocks. But this time, in these 3 months, you will have to up your game a little bit. So from June, July and August, you start giving 2 mocks each. That way, you will have 6 mocks covered in these 3 months. Yes. Don't worry about the score that you get. Don't worry about my score suddenly dropped, my score suddenly went up, I was not able to perform well. What do I do with the score? Don't worry about the score. Forget the score. Focus only on the analysis. Yes. Understand, if I were to give the same test again, what would be the changes I would make? What would be the kind of sets I would pick? Did I choose the right kind of set or not? From the set that I picked up, is there a better way of looking at it? Is there a better, a more efficient way of tackling that same set? Cool. So you continue giving mocks. 2 mocks in a month will make sure you have 6 mocks covered again. So 3 mocks and 6 mocks, 9 mocks here. And then in the last leg of your preparation, your last leg would be your September, October and November, right? So the test date is 29th of November, which is your last Sunday. Yes, 29th of November, which is your last Sunday of November. That's when your CAT is. That means you pretty much have the entire November month. Yes, leave out just, one more day. That is 29th. You still have your entire November in your hand, right? So here, the number of concepts will drastically drop because you've covered pretty much everything. You've covered pretty much everything in the last 6 months, right? Your practice would also pretty much drop because now you're getting either repetitive questions or you're able to tackle those questions without having a timer hanging around your neck. So then you start maxing out on the mocks that you give. Give as many mocks as possible, Here you can go as far as giving 4 mocks in a month. Yes. So September you can do 4 mocks. October you can do 4 mocks. That would be 1 mock every week. And in November, you will have nothing else to do than giving mocks. So mocks and analysis is all that you will be doing. So November, you can give about 4 to 8 mocks. That way, you will have at least 12 here and 9 there. 21, 22 mocks are in your pocket right away. Obviously, what I've done is, with September, October, I've kept 4 mocks in the planner. But in November, I've maxed out on the mocks, right? Every week you're giving 2 mocks, one at the beginning of it, one at the middle of it, right? So that you have enough days to, go ahead and analyze them, understand what's lacking, what you're really good at, what are the areas that you should work on, whether I should use a calculator here or not. You will learn how to mark and review a question later. You will also learn how you can go through the entire paper once at a stretch and then come back to it by selecting the right kind of sets, right? So this would be the last leg of your 9 months. Cool. Hi Sangram. Hi, Yashika. Cool. So now I have created a proper sheet for you so that you don't have to, have an open-ended or unplanned way of preparing for CAT. I've made the sheet for you. You can use the sheet how I'll teach you first. Okay. So before you start sending me edit access for the sheets, please listen to this very carefully. Okay. The step one is click on the link in the description. So if you open the, if you are right now on the YouTube video, right? So right there, if you see in the description, you have this link that says LRDI 9-month plan, and then there is a Google form link. Just click on that Google form link, fill that Google form up, and you will find the sheet link right after you submit it, right? So submit the Google form. You will be able to see the link for the sheet. Once you're done seeing the sheets link, you're not supposed to start requesting access from me because I will not be able to do that. If I give you access, let's say, for example, if I give Sangram the access to my sheet, that will become Sangram sheet. So Sangram will start clicking things that he has done, making edits there, whether he's completed a particular topic, he's done with the concept of it, he's done with the practice of it, he's given this mock or not, he'll be done with that. Now, when Yashika opens the same link, what would happen? It would already have Sangram's input there, right? So you have to make the sheet your own. So to do that, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to make a copy of the planner. There is an option in Google Sheets to make a copy of the planner. I would recommend you to start doing that, right? So I'll just show you the entire process of how to use this particular sheet. So this is the YouTube video that you're watching right now. Here, LRDI 9-month plan, you have this link. Click on this link. It'll take you to this Google form. Yes. Once you're done filling in this Google form, yeah, you have to complete filling in this Google form. Yes. I'll not obviously add my actual number, but I would recommend that you do it. Yes. Then your email address. And also we want to know where you are from, right? Which part of the country you are from. So just make sure you enter the city that you're from. So I am from Chennai, and state is not your mental state that, oh, I'm really down right now, I'm really low right now. No, state is the state in which you belong, right? In which your city belongs. So I've entered my city and my state, and if I belong to a particular batch, let's say you're from the pioneer batch or the elite batch or the pro batch or the core batch, or even if you're just following a YouTube series, you can just enter the name of the series. So for example, if you're following the fundamental series, just type in fundamentals. Yeah. Once you're done filling up fundamentals and submit it, you will be able to now see your Google Sheet link. Yes. Now is the biggest step. Click on the Google Sheet. Once you see this, I have made sure to mark it in red. Please make a copy of the sheet. The sheet cannot be edited. Yes, you do not have the edit access to the sheet. Only I do, because if I give you the edit access to the sheet will go haywire because there'll be so many people editing the sheet at once. You will lose your own progress. Okay. So what are you going to do now? You are going to click here on file. Can you see this? Yeah. Are you able to see this? So once you click on file, you see this fourth option called make a copy. Click on that. Now, if you're using a phone, right? If you're using a phone, my strong suggestion would be download the Sheets app on your phone, right? There'll be Google Sheets official app from the Play Store or the App Store. Download that, open this link through that, and then you will have the option to copy and export. Click on copy it for yourselves, and then start editing it. So once I click on make a copy, it'll ask me the option to rename it. You can rename it if you want. Click on make a copy, and then you will have your fresh copy there. Cool. This copy is what you're supposed to start using. This is your dashboard. Your dashboard will keep a progress of your monthly task and how much you are able to, complete it. This is where you will type in your name. So let's say we type Sangram's name here. I have made sure that this becomes as personal as it could, because this will give you the feeling of ownership that you own this sheet, right? And this person in the hoodie is basically you aiming at the top B schools of our country. Okay. Now, when you go to the taskmaster, right from 1st of March, which is a Sunday, all the way till 29th of November, I have filled in tasks for you to do. Yes, 29th of November, I have filled in the task for you. On the 29th, your only task is going to be to go and kill it. And on the 30th, you're going to throw yourselves a party. Probably invite me also in it, okay? Now, I have made sure that throughout, right, throughout all the concepts of logical reasoning, data interpretation and LR-based DI are mentioned there. And I have not done it like complete full LR at once and then complete DI. No, I made a good mix of it if you notice. So here you see how we start off with logical reasoning with arrangements, distribution. I've given ample amount of days for you to practice as well so that you become very much familiar with it. Then you move on to DI also. So parallelly, you're also doing DI. You're not focusing only on LI, you're also doing DI, and you give enough time for your practice and go to line graphs, go to pie charts and so on and so forth, okay? Moreover, additional things that I've done here is because sometimes it may happen that in your weekdays, you might be occupied, you might be busy because you will probably be working or you will be in a college then, you will have your exams then, you will have your projects to submit, your record books to complete. Yes, that annoying thing. I can't, that's a trauma for me, right? Filling up record books which you know later are going to be sold for, you know, bail and all that, right? But anyway, so what I've done is Saturdays and Sundays, because I know that Saturdays and Sundays most of the folks don't work or you don't have a college on those days. That means you can spend a lot amount, a large amount of time preparing, focusing on your preparation for your CAT. So I have added either backlogs. If you have backlogs from that week, you can complete it then. Or if you want to revise something. Now, in logical reasoning, honestly, there's no revision. But sometimes this happens that one of the sets that we were discussing in the class or in the YouTube video, you might not get it immediately. Or one of the DPPs that you were solving, a couple of sets, you might not be able to get it immediately. So what do? You revisit them during that time, right? You revisit them, you try to solve them on your own to make sure that you've actually understood the approach behind it, okay? Or else you have space for practice. So I've added those on the weekends, yes, and I've not added any other task on the weekends except for doing mock. So your first mock, you will start giving it on the 1st of March, yes. 1st of March, you give your first mock, and the first mock is going to be any CAT 2024 paper. Take CAT 2024 because the sets are not way too complicated. It's a moderate level paper, so you can definitely attempt one set at least, right? So that, and then the analysis there, and on Monday, from Monday onwards, from the 2nd March onwards, you get back on track. Cool? Yes. I'll take a couple of questions and then we will jump to the next part of the sheet. Sir, I'm facing difficulty in it because the questions in class were easy and very difficult in mocks. Okay, Navdeep, I understand your issue, buddy. So you need to get the concept of class versus DPP. You think that classes and DPPs are two separate entities. They are not. Classes and DPPs are in continuation. Yes, your DPP is an extended form of your class only. That's why the video solutions, us teachers ourselves are doing it. So in data interpretation, let's say you find a particular, question complicated in the DPP. That's because we've intentionally put it there, because that's the kind of questions your CAT will ask. But the purpose of the class is not to help you just solve that set, but to help you understand the approach behind it. Yes, so there might be a discrepancy in the difficulty level of the sets done in the classes and the sets given in the DPPs. But you need to understand that those 6 sets that we give in the DPPs are just a continuation of it, right? So let's say if I or Gaurav sir are doing say 3 or 4 sets in the class, then the remaining 6 sets, the combination of that entire thing is 10 sets for that particular topic. I hope you understand this, okay? So you need to learn that DPPs are not a separate entity. They are a part of your class only, okay? Done? Sir, first of all, I'm in dilemma where time flies. Even with ongoing graduation, I'm managing to get 3-4 hours per day and full day on weekends. Still, progress feels slower. Sangram, so there are 2 ways of looking at it, right? So you're either calculating or you're measuring your progress in terms of quantity. that I'm only able to do these many questions, I'm only able to complete these many topics. The other way of looking at it is the quality of it, right? I'm able to do only maybe 5 sets in that particular, say, weekend, right? 2 days or that entire week, let's say, because you're able to give 3-4 hours a day, and you will be doing quant and VRC as well. So I'm taking 5 as an example. So let's say those 5 sets were only done by you. But the problem is, you look at it as 5 sets, I look at it as 5 different approaches. Yes, so you've learned 5 different approaches of looking at different sets. That means any other set that is remotely relevant to the ones that you've practiced, you will be able to crack them. So don't go by the quantity of it. Never ever judge or measure your progress by the quantity of it. Rather focus on the quality of it, that the kind of questions that you did were really good. That means any kind of question that you will get in your test, in your mock test or wherever, you will be able to at least attempt them, right? So maybe try changing the way you perceive your progress, okay? Sir, how is SRM University, Chennai for MBA? All right, for people who have these queries, right? How is a particular college for this particular course? My strong recommendation, although I am from Chennai, I would still recommend you to have a word with alums of that particular B school. Get in connect with the alumni of those B schools, reach them out on LinkedIn, try dropping them a message that I am so and so, and I'm looking for, some guidance. If you would be kind enough to, spare a couple of minutes from your schedule, I would like to know how was your experience at the college. I would like to know how was your, faculty there. What was the infrastructure like? What was the support given to the students there? How is the e-cell there? How's the placement cell there? How are the placements? Did you get opportunities? So on and so forth. You can have a one-on-one with them. If you ask me, I would get my information from a third party, right? I would hear it from a student who might not have the same experience or the same situation as you do, right? That person might actually be a very good student, and for him that entire thing would have been smooth. Or maybe that student would have been an average student and he would tell me that, nah, my experience wasn't that good, right? So it clearly depends from student to student, from individual to individual. So my suggestion, reach out to a couple of them, maybe 4 or 5 of them, send them request, connect with them on LinkedIn. Maybe 1 or 2 would respond, and then have a word with them. That'll be better for you, okay? Navdeep, so see, please understand, with CAT, there's a lot of unpredictability, You cannot predict whether the kind of sets that you do in the classes or in the DPPs would exactly come, because there have, the chances of that happening is minuscule. Maybe the kind of chart we did in the class or in the DPP might come. Maybe one of the concepts that we learned might be tested, but the entire set, being replicated in CAT, that could never happen, right? If the day that happens, you need to understand that the quality of CAT itself has dropped massively, and I know that they will not let that happen, okay? So similar kind of models, you can't say, but there could be some similarity there, okay? Hi Shyam, tomorrow is your birthday. Happy birthday in advance. I will share with you my UPI ID. I know you can't give me a party physically, so please yeah, sir, my questions are very basic. Okay, where do you give mocks? Mocks can be given on any of the platforms. So if you go on the MBA Wallah platform, the PW platform, on the app, you will find a lot of mocks there under test series. So you can enroll in one of those and start giving mocks, okay? You can, if you're not part of any batch, then you can enroll in the test series and start giving them, okay? Rajnath, for Maharashtra CET, logical reasoning is being done on the other channel. It is being done on the other channel, and logical reasoning is covered by Gaurav sir right now. I think he did one session in the afternoon also, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so please go check out the other channel. Cool. Where will I find the mocks? On the app, strategy for DI. All right, so biggest strategy for DI. Now let me give you a quick announcement as well here. So these classes that we are doing, right, we've been doing these classes here called the fundamentals. Have you noticed them? MBA CAT fundamentals, MBA CAT fundamentals. This happens on a regular basis at 9 p.m. right? It wasn't planned for today, but you have classes happening on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, right? So on these 6 days, we are doing classes from 9 p.m. onwards, where I will be taking data interpretation, where we'll be looking at a different perspective on data interpretation. Okay, so if any one of you is looking out for or are expecting me to start taking data interpretation, you can definitely join me there. Cool, Aishwarya? So the idea is to understand data interpretation better. All you have to do is understand math better. Data interpretation is just a descendant of math, right? So if you learn math properly, if you understand calculations, if you understand fractions, you understand percentages, ratios and averages and a little bit of equations, I'm sure you will be able to understand DI also better. Okay. Neeru, please don't put any constraints on the number of sets or the number of questions or the amount of hours. Like I said, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. If I tell you 10 sets, let's say in a day you have to do 10 sets. I know it's overestimated value. 10 sets is too much to do in a day, sir. I get it. But what if all of those sets were your 10%, 20% confidence level? Would it make sense? Obviously not. And when I say 5 sets, what if those are only 10%, 20%, right? So you need to make sure that you do the whole stretch. Yes, start from a 10, 20% confidence level set, go all the way till 100% or 150% set also. That way you know that you've got the command over the kind of sets that are asked. Okay. Don't put a limit on the number of sets. Don't quantify it. How can I improve my speed for MBA CET? Rajnath, I think we are discussing those on a regular basis. Yes. This one is specifically for people giving CAT in the year 2026. So if you have any other specific questions for Maharashtra CET, you can maybe reach out to us on the other channel when we are doing the session. Okay. Sangram, there's still time for that, man. There's still time for that. Umang, yeah, for elite batch, since it's too early for it, and if you noticed, I have also made sure that I added only CAT PYQ as your first mock, right? By the time you come off to your second mock, that will be in the month of April, right? Your second mock will be in the month of April, the first Sunday of April. By then, a couple of mocks will be already released. Okay, so we are making sure that we don't release all the mocks at once, because what a lot of people do is they start giving mocks left, right, center without really analyzing them, right? So it's not about giving mocks, but also the analysis of it. Okay. AK, I don't think I'll be fit enough to answer that, man, because, again, like I said, it all depends upon what actually happens inside the college and not what you hear from the third person, right? You go check that out on the internet, that information can be falsified, right? If you ask us, we may not be able to give you proper 100% credible information. So my suggestion, talk to people or talk to people who are already a part of those particular B schools or have either passed out, graduated, or are still doing it. Talk to them, you'll know better. Okay. Yes, Phoenix, I will make sure that I share the link for the spreadsheet there, but fill up the Google form. No, it's right there. There's a Google form there. Just click on the Google form and fill it up and you will get the link automatically. Okay. Done, folks. Hi, Barish. My grade 10th is 9.5, inter 953, graduation 70. Yeah, it is still possible. Yeah. See, your academics, you need to understand, a lot of people start cribbing about their academics, that their academics are either way too good or way too bad or very average. Don't worry about that. There's nothing you can do to change that. You can't go back in time and change your scores from your academics, right? Your 10th, your 12th or your UG. What you can do is crack CAT, right? Get 99.5 plus. That way your academics will have very little weightage, right? Any which ways they have very little weightage. And when you let your CAT overpower it, you won't feel a thing. Okay. Done. All right. So start using the sheet for people who've been using the other sheet that I had shared, right? If you're someone who's already following a sheet. So I shared one other sheet for the entire 1 year. If you are following that sheet, well and good. Continue using that particular sheet. You can still use that sheet. But if you think you want a fresh start, or you haven't been able to follow up with that sheet and you want a fresh start, or if you're someone who's just starting to begin your CAT prep, you can start doing that. Okay. Cool, everybody. So I don't want anyone asking me for edit access. I've already given you the way in which you can access this. Just go click on file, make a copy and start using it. All right. Okay then. Thank you so much, guys. And before we end this here, let me just tell you, this is the official Telegram of MBA Wallah English Medium. So you can join this group as well. I know you're already there on the main group. You can join this group as well. So all the sessions that we do on this very channel, we'll be sharing all the links for that, all the notes for that there. And this is my official Telegram group. You can join this as well. Okay. Cool. Or analytical reasoning. So there are two ways of looking at it. Most analytical reasoning questions are from logical reasoning only. So logical reasoning is renamed as analytical reasoning in most books or most websites that you look at. Some places analytical reasoning is also given to verbal reasoning. So I don't want you to confuse yourselves. Okay. For CAT, it's logical reasoning and data interpretation. End of story. Okay. Alright, so I will see you guys soon from Monday onwards. Coming Monday, I'll be taking a session on data interpretation at 9 p.m. for the fundamental series. So I hope you guys are there. All the very best, guys. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, Navdeep. Have a very good night, folks. And I hope you start using the sheet real soon. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.